So, so I took it out of the office and I laid it down, set it down on her, uh, in front of her chair at the kitchen table, and then I slept in way late today, like late, probably 10 o'clock. Not happy about that, but I didn't get to bed till late. So got up this morning at about, well, when her alarm went off, 7:30, 7:15, and then I got this guided meditation called Headspace. I put the Headspace on and I crashed out. I don't even remember it. And then Liz got up and she very politely closed the door and did not make any noise. So then I woke up again at probably about 9:30. I brushed my teeth. I did cold water on the face, and then I went back in the bedroom. I stretched my legs, stretched my hips, and then I did this Wim Hof breathing, and it's really pretty awesome. And yesterday I was anticipating going today to go run because my foot was feeling better, but then when I was stretching, I realized my foot's not healed up yet. So I injured it last year, this time winter, wrestling season, and it never healed properly. And I started doing physical rehab, so it's a lot better now. But nonetheless, I reached out to Mark Hines' wife, and I want to meet with her because I want to try to find some kind of solution to this healthcare debacle. And then a buddy of mine, he's lives in Independence. He actually has a boat. He used to have a boat right next to mine, and he's a Cleveland firefighter. And he just got a new position as a. God, he just told me. Or I just listened to the recording yesterday. He's a kind of like a liaison between active members, retired members, and this healthcare issue going on. And he's employed by the city, not by the union. So, I mean, he's not going to bite the hand that feeds him. He's probably doing pretty well. I believe he's a captain maybe in the fire department. Anyways, so I I want to meet with Mark Hines' wife and see if we can brainstorm and get some resolution to this really, really, really complicated system. And I don't know if the active members even realize just how screwed they're going to be when they retire. And I don't know if they're going to be willing to take more money out of their pay now to have health care when they retire. And when I talked to Dennis yesterday, I said we all knew we were never going to get rich in this job. But what we did know is the paycheck would never bounce. We would always have steady work. And when we retired, we had good health care. I said, there's no way I would take that job now. So when I took an apprentice test, there was a maximum of 200 applications given out. If you didn't get your app in, you're out. If you and I scored identical on a test, it came down to who turned their app in first. I talked to my ex-employees, coworkers at Independence Police. They said this last test they gave, maybe a little over 40 applications were taken. Maybe a little over 20 actually passed the exam, and it came down to like 10 or 12 guys. And who the hell wants to be a cop or fireman now? Especially a cop. You watch the news, you'd think these cops are evil absolute. And the anger and the disdain for police officers across the board is off the charts. And yeah, you're going to have your good cops and bad cops, but Name one profession where you don't have an asshole in it. And a few bad apples are making all cops look horrible. So, I told Dennis, I said, there's no way I would ever want to take a police and fire exam now. I said I'd be doing sheet metal, which I used to have this muscle here that would go out like that. My forearms were like freaking Popeye, because the old place I used to work for, it was a prehistoric sheet metal shop. So if you got a 4x8 sheet of sheet metal, a normal sheet metal shop would have what's called a slitter. Take the 8 feet, run it through there, slits it. Not us. 8 feet. 8 feet with your hand, with the pair of hand shears. So my calluses and my hands were crazy strong. And I would always make fun of my buddies that were cops. They're like, you got little girl hands. Now I've got the girl hands. They're just soft as a baby's ass. So, not really happy with my my ramblings. I'm all over the place. Son of a bitch. So, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to meet with Mark Hines' wife, and she said it's very busy tax season now. So maybe later this week or next week. And I don't know what I'm going to be able to help her out with, but she seems pretty sharp. And if we could just at least get the ball rolling. And I'm really into these motivational posts and motivational biohacks to live my most optimal life. And every guru, Tony Robbins, all these motivational speakers and all these successful people, they all say the same thing. You have to stick to one task, finish it, check it off, and only move on to the next one once that first task is done. I've never been able to do that. I start something, I'll go over here. And I've been this like my whole life. And with this new brain cancer bullshit, it's amplified times 1,000. So I'll start something and oh, squirrel, and I'll go over there. And at the end of the day, I got 15 different projects going and not one's completed. So I've been trying to really, really be diligent about sticking to that very, very strict rule, which it's a recipe for success. And I'm not trying to be this successful mogul, which would be nice, but I really have no wants. I just wanna be healthy and happy. I mean, who doesn't? So I've got some invention ideas that I would like to get rolling, but that's a whole another chapter. So earlier this week, I got a new pair of tennis shoes for running, working out, and Liz had found an article, or I found the article, doing brain games like Lumosity or Brain HQ, because I was trying to get my brain to work. And there's a new terminology, well, not new, but newer, called brain plasticity. The old adage that you cannot teach an old dog new tricks, you're hardwired, you can't change your brain, is total baloney. You can retrain your brain, and it's called neural pathways. So if you're right-handed and you always eat right-handed, you throw right-handed, start eating left-handed. Start writing left-handed. That creates a new neural pathway. If you always tie your right shoe first, try your left. I mean, that's small potatoes. But what it said was, when you do Brain HQ or Lumosity, it doesn't really help your brain. What it does help you do is get good at those tasks that they offer you. But what you should do is learn a new skill, whether it's a new language, how to play an instrument. I started doing typing online. I never learned how to type because I was an eighth grader in Mr. Latham class at Cog Heights, and there's no doubt in my mind I would have been pumped up so full of ADHD meds. There's no freaking way I could concentrate in school. Plus, I had the crazy toxic environment. Not only environmentally, the old man was a raging lunatic alcoholic. And you didn't know if you were going to get your head caved in or he was going to be Johnny Happy. So, so I went out and bought a new iPad because if I do decide to do this stem cell transplant, I'll have the iPad there. And then, well, here it is right here. My new iPad Pro. It's awesome. I'm not a tech guy, but it's really, really cool. And I'm going to get a keyboard so I can start typing with it. And Liz just asked, I got a Bluetooth wireless keyboard for my home computer, and I wonder if it can sync up to this. So I'll give that a shot today. But the same day I bought the shoes, I got a guitar. And I had my buddy Brian Exton, who let me borrow a guitar last year. I had it for a long time, and it just sat there. And I tried to pick it up, and then I got frustrated, and I put it down, and I ended up giving it back to him. But then I found this article that learning to play an instrument is the best way, or a new skill is the best way to strengthen your brain. I don't know what's going on with my hiccups here. Liz just asked me yesterday, or 2 days ago, she goes, can't you hold that back? Can't you stop that? So I can't. So then she sneezed, and I go, can't you just stop that? So my buddy Brian Exton met me out at Guitar Centers on Mayfield, and Liz went to Costco to get some food for groceries for us, and I bought a cheap guitar, acoustic, plain old classical acoustic guitar, and I opted for the nylon strings as opposed to the stainless steel strings. That way I don't want to have any type of open sores or any type of anything when I go in for the stem cell transplant, if I do go for it. And then I had to call out to my old sergeant, later became the chief of Valley View, Matt March. He's got 5 kids, and 2 of his boys are now independent police officers. Matt's now retired, and his son Michael is dating this girl Melissa, who works at this place called, well, it's Sailing Inc., and it's also National Liquidators, and it's literally right next door to where I keep my boat. And if I do get this stem cell transplant, there's no way I will be able to be on the boat or even in that area because of risk of infection. So I'm trying to set up, where am I going to store my boat? I got to store it somewhere, and that place is the best place. It's close, it's right on the corner, and I asked Mike if his girlfriend could get any type of families and friends discount, and I'm actually waiting on a phone call back from this guy Doug Moose, who's the guy in charge over at Sailing Inc. and National Liquidators. And hopefully I can get my boat stuck over there. But I don't know how I'm going to get it over there, because it's all shrunk wrap now. It's up on jack stands. And the time they're going to start taking boats off the fill, off the jack stands, and put them in the water is early spring, probably mid-April. And that's potentially when I'll be starting the stem cell transplant. So I got to I don't know if I have to hire somebody or the guys down at my boat club will help me out. I don't know. These are all unknowns. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling rested. I'm going to I thought I was going to go for a run today, but that's not going to happen. I was stretching and I realized my foot still is not healed up. So I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to go work out. I'll do I'm going to figure out how to set up my HIIT stopwatch timer to do my HIIT workouts. HIIT stands for high intensity interval training. Quick bursts, short breaks, and it's supposed to burn the most calories, and it's beneficial across the board. And I'm not sure, I want to look up after this video what's the difference between HIIT workouts or Tabata workouts. They're pretty much the same. So you bust it out for 30 seconds, hard, as fast as you can. And last time I did it on the rowing machine, as hard, as fast as I could for 30 seconds. And I was gassed because I've got no cardio. I've not really been doing anything but laying around like a piece of, I won't say laying around. I just don't have cardio. And I tell all the wrestlers that I used to coach, I don't give a shit if you're wrestling the Incredible Hulk. You take his lungs away, he's got no strength. I would ask the kids, why do you think a crocodile takes their prey into the deep? Because they can breathe underwater? No. You're close. They got bigger lungs. They take them to deep, do the roll, take them down. They can hold their breath longer than their prey can. Kills them. Take them in the deep end. Be like a crocodile. Work on your cardio. You don't have your cardio, you don't have strength. So I did this rowing machine. I mean, I blew it out. Everything I had, 30 seconds. And I rested. And I was pretty gassed. And then my minute rest, of course, goes by like that. And then another 30 seconds. And I was done. And that minute goes by, and I'm ready to get up. And I said, no, you sissy. Do you want to live or do you want to die? You need to bust it up. So I did another 30 seconds, and I'm telling you, my tank was 2 letters, empty. Empty. So that's a little tip for you. When I used to be pipe fitter, and you'd be welding or had nitrogen or oxygen or acetylene, when the tank was empty, the B tank or whatever tank it was, you take your marker right on the side of it, empty. It's empty. So my tank was on empty after that third round. And I, like, if you ever run outside in the cold and you get that burn in your esophagus, I had that burn. So I got up, I stumbled over, drank some water, and I was spent. So I'm going to do that again today. And I've been hanging from for my shoulders. And I was really, really disappointed how first time I did it, A, my hands were hurting, and B, I couldn't hang over a minute. And I remember doing pull-ups in elementary school and high school, and the girls would just hang. And I would think, you know what? Girls need to hang. They can't do pull-ups. Well, obviously that's not true. And, I mean, when you liked a girl, you used to throw rocks at them, right? So I didn't want anything to do with girls in elementary school. And so regardless, I'm now hanging over a minute now. And I'm going to definitely go bust out that rowing machine. We've got an appointment today, a video consult with Dr. Lise Alschuler, naturopathic doctor out of Arizona. She's phenomenal, brilliant, and actually a survivor herself. And this is actually a cool story. After my first consult, she said, well, after 90 minutes of speaking with you, I can say without question that you are one of my very rare miracle patients. And with your permission, I would like to give your information to a client and friend of mine named Glenn Sabin. Have you heard of him? I said, no. She goes, you guys have a very similar story. You both have blood cancer. You've got lymphoma. He's got leukemia. You both given a short time to live. You're 13 plus out. He's 26 plus out. He wrote a book called N of One. Have you heard of it? I said, no. I said, no, I haven't. She goes, I encourage you to read it. So I read the book, and now I get his emails, and the guy's phenomenal. So when I was dealing with this iPad yesterday, setting it up, I don't know how it came across, but somehow, some way, my Amazon order of his book came up with my review that I wrote, but I never submitted it. So there it is, and I read it, and I made an addition to it. And now it's that I looked when I bought that book, it was October 2017, and now today's date is February 21st, 2019. So I resubmitted that review, and this is Glenn Sabin. I'm on his email list, and he wrote an email yesterday about the poor health and healthcare system of this country, and he spoke of cancer prevention over cancer cures, and I'm all on board with that. So I want to be very active in that, and I also want to be very active in the full legalization of cannabis, coast to coast. I was able to acquire some new lab-tested FECO, full extract cannabis oil, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I turned into a complete prick. And I don't understand why. I certainly don't understand why I was such an asshole to Liz. I mean, this person truly has been a gift from God into my life. Only has my best interests at heart. I've never been with somebody who's been in my corner and had my back as much as she has. And I think about, she makes the flight arrangements, the hotel arrangements, all my appointments, lays out all my pills for me, cooks, cleans, shops, everything. I mean, and I'm getting spoiled. And why the hell would I ever be an asshole to her is beyond me. And I met my buddy Dan for lunch yesterday, and I go, I can't wait for somebody just to bump into me so I can just chew their face off. He goes, what's going on? I go, I don't know. I go, I'm normally the glass is half full guy, silver lining to the gray cloud. Generally happy, generally in a positive mood. And this last week and a half, just really, really pissed off. And I have no idea why. So I backed off, I stopped taking the FECO. And last night, I think I turned the corner. I'm feeling a lot better, feeling a lot more upbeat. And yeah, I gotta go knock it out, guys. Thank you.